Hello, today I'm going to be talking about the AK1 mod team and their complete incompetence at what they're doing. Now, this isn't going to be like the last two videos. I'm not necessarily exposing anyone. I'm exposing them a little, but I'm just laying this information out for people to see. It's going to be more of a list of things that they have done. A list of reasons why the mod team should be possibly replaced, or taught how to be good moderators or something, because the things that I have found out within the past week are pretty inexcusable for a mod team moderating a site full of children, to be completely frank. We need better mods and admins than what I'm about to show you. Oh, and also, since I have an audience, do not harass the people I mention in this video, or I will find you and I will kill you, okay? Is that a deal? That's a deal. Alright. So, who are the staff anyway? Well, I've been a AK1 forum member for 4.5 years now. I should know something about them, right? Well, actually, if we take a look at the staff right now, let's see here. Supervisors. Never seen them before. Retard. I don't know much about these two, but I'm just gonna guess he's a good supervisor, and they're an okay supervisor. Then we have the moderators. Both I've seen before and will mention later. Then the global mod, who I think is new. They semi-recently got this position, but I've seen them before too. He also might be mentioned later. And then we have the admins. The most active out of all of these members. There's SDK123, who I'm gonna mention later. And Pal Pink, or DGSGQA on the forum for some reason, who obviously will be mentioned. Here's the thing with the staff. As you will soon see, the current staff isn't doing very well at the moment. How do I know this? What was the problem? The first event I'm going to bring up is the m.u.g.e.n incident. What is that? Well, a user named m.u.g.e.n16, or Mikazuki the Mugenite elsewhere, during or after what looks like an argument, Doom Joshua Boy explains to m.u.g.e.n that GORE is staying in the NSFW section of the website. Because, seriously, why? Like, no m.u.g.e.n site does this. The AK1's site itself doesn't even do this. I know y'all can reorganize characters and put them in different categories, can't you? The GORE section in the NSFW section is titled Freaky, by the way. Weird name. If you can't take GORE out of the NSFW section, then why don't you adequately use it? Sure, you have a couple soaking characters in there, but the edgy, gory, Donald edit, help me, isn't in there? I can't see the 18 plus content, or the section, if it's an entire section now, because I don't fucking want to. So if I can still see all these gory characters, then you guys don't seem to be sticking to your guns all that well. Like, isn't Mortal Kombat synonymous with GORE? Why are Mortal Kombat categories not NSFW? Either follow your own rule or remove it. Anyway, here's the exchange. I am one of the mods of the website. I understand you have been going through with a lot of problems with our admins and our web. I need to keep the story short on what's going on. You may have ruined the rules, but you made one of the admins into stress, as GOREs can be NSFW not because of real life GOREs, but in games like Doom is a GORE game. And it's part of Gore's side to even Mortal Kombat series. I mean, I can understand you are asking for Gore's to be out of NSFW, but we aren't going to do it as it against our rules. I hope this understands your situation. DJB. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you, Chief. I could barely understand what you were trying to say here. Okay? It kinda devolved very quickly. As far as I know, everywhere, it says he's Australian. He says he's Australian, alright? I even saw other posts he's made. On those posts, although shorter than this interaction, he seemed to be speaking fluent English. But here, I don't know what happened. And he's 29 too. I don't know what the problem is here. God forbid he speaks like this and not just texts like this, okay? This is a global mind, okay? Whose words you probably need to listen to, okay? If I'm gonna have to listen to this, bro is gonna have to translate a few parts of his statements, okay? You've been applying to this with, so then there needs to be a GORE category, not move GORE into a category for sex. And where in the rules does it say that now stages and characters with GORE has to be moved to a 18 plus category? This is quite a double standard. Again, I have to say, they're not very consistent on that. Like, I don't get this whatsoever. I understand what you are saying, but it's just a tad bit ridiculous. So, I've laid the table out for you, okay? You see what's going on, right? This GORE thing kinda ridiculous, right? I know this is a site that isn't necessarily for kids, right? But all the kids go here, okay? All the minors. I get that, but are we really putting GORE in the NSFW section? If we're doing this, and m.u.g.e.n is questioning this, which I think is fair, what do you think is the adequate answer to this? How do you think they should respond to this? Maybe rethink this decision? Maybe actually enact this rule of putting gory characters into the freaky section? I tried to explain it to him, but man, I tried to explain to him, but man, I'm thinking we should ban him. Nah, bro. Nah, let's just ban him, bro. Let's just ban him. What am I supposed to do? My job? I'm only a global mod. I can't just reorganize the website. That's too much work. Let's just ban him. Bro. Let's think about this, alright? Hold on a minute. Are we serious? Are we serious with this? Are we really doing this? Since when is the NSFW category just for sex? All the fucking time. You dense motherfucker. I have yet to see. Do you understand me? I have yet to see m.u.g.e.n archive, MFG, MFFA, call subbing NSFW solely for GORE reasons. Because the character is gory. That's not something I've ever heard of. There is an NSFW category for GORE charts called Freaky. There are multiple charts with GORE tags there. Ah, yes. Do I need to again mention the characters that aren't in there? Then Palpink tags the moderator, Karu9, and says something in Spanish, which I've translated. I know it's Spanish, because when I translated it into Portuguese, it didn't sound all the way right. What do you think about this? Bro, yeah, for real. Yeah, bro. I'll get to reading the rest of this. Let's ban him. I will talk to him. I'm so pissed at this user, dude. Like, he refuses to understand our view. At all costs. Like we are evil or some shit. You're like, let me, okay? Let me make this as crystal clear as possible, Pal Pink. Personally, there is no m.u.g.e.n site that cares about whether a character is gory. You are going to go through with this bullshit rule. And this interaction is months ago, by the way. You're gonna go through with this rule. You are going to enact it. Or, you gotta stop this bullshit and just have the NSFW category for NSFW characters, not including gore. Better yet, if you're gonna stay with this bullshit, don't title it freaky. Who titled it that? Did you come up with that? Mrs. I Want the Fuck Kai from Gravity Circuit really badly? Did you come up with that? Because I wouldn't be surprised if you did. I'm going to ban him. I'm going to ban him. Put a warning on it. No, wait. I will ban him. I'm tired of him. You sure? If people complain, you will speak though. I don't want to deal with this dude. 6 months will make him reflect. The idiot is messing around for nothing. That's fine. I hate how she lies. She irritates me. I hate how she lies. Like, oh, she didn't break a rule. Of course she did. Has she even read them? Is she stupid? Is she dense? Want me to do a code 9? I get so mad, cause they keep comparing us to Archive for the most non-important stuff. She speaks like she's part of my team too. Like she knows how it works and shit. I haven't warned users since modding. Okay, first off, m.u.g.e.n is female. They switch pronouns throughout these messages. I don't know if they knew. I'm honestly not sure either of them knew. Other than that, apparently the mods had a grudge against her because of her formerly being a member of the infamous Sky Vista server. Despite her having nothing to do with the wrongdoings that happened there, not to mention the fact she isn't even mentioned in m.u.g.e.'s doc, and therefore her video. So, entirely guilt by association is what got m.u.g.e.n banned for about a day. About a day because Code 9 and m.u.g.e.n made up in DMs after things were clarifying. But this really shows that these guys do not take criticism very well, and also are very short-sighted. That freaky section, by the way, seemingly created after someone created a stage with a little gore in it on the site. There was an argument about it being in the NSFW section. They put the stage into this new category inside the section, called it freaky. Problem swept under the rug. Just classy. Maybe they're short-sighted. Maybe they're too defensive. But at least they've got a working brain, right? Maybe not. What I'm gonna talk about next is gonna have you question if they have even that. Someone uploaded a super null character to the website. You know the deal. Code wizards abusing m.u.g.e.n for our amusement. All good fun. Well, this character had a file named memes in it, and it was reported to the mods. Now, what is memes? Memes is a Trojan by someone named Murak for the AK1's YouTube series Viewer-Made Malware. Why do you need to know all that? Because I'm padding out the video, but also so we can compare and contrast with what we're actually talking about. If you've seen Varksco for Joel's Windows 10 destruction, you would know that memes is a half-serious deal. The memes that was in the character folder is a text file. It's a renamed text file. That's why it looks like an application and opens like an application, but it's only 269 bytes. Not kilobytes, not megabytes. 269 single bytes. If it were an actual full-blown exe file, the character wouldn't work. You see, the thing about m.u.g.e.n character files is that you can name them whatever the fuck you want as long as the original file type is there, and its title is replicated in the .def file. I can only assume the admin and the global mod of this m.u.g.e.n forum know nothing about this because they thought this was an actual virus. Oh well, that's what a virus checker is for. So, they put the zip file the character was in through virustotal.com, and the site said there was nothing in it. Job done, right?
Nah!
I am still gonna delete it because I don't trust it. Yeah, true. Delete it. Good to know we have such geniuses as these two running the website. Could not be bothered to do a modicum of critical thinking. Couldn't be bothered to take the result of a fucking virus checker. Couldn't do any more research and find out what memes is. Model administration, really. Alright, so they're defensive and dumb, but at least you can trust them personally, can't you? Well, as established, you can't trust the leaders to pass English class. What about the moderators though? They seem semi-functional. Like Gamer9 at least should probably be given a double take. There is a particular situation that he refuses to be truthful about that I think should be brought to light by more honest individuals. Back in the SkyVesta server, because yes, we're still talking about the SkyVesta Discord server because it has cursed the niche part of the m.u.g.e.n community with its existence, people found something out about Gamer9. He was friends with Koya. Koya is a Japanese m.u.g.e.n author who you might know for making one of the biggest characters in m.u.g.e.n you've ever seen. What could be wrong with being friendly with a very skilled m.u.g.e.n author such as him? Well, Koya is actually very disagreeable when it comes to the exchange of characters. Koya believes in the very exclusionist practice of keeping foreigners from certain characters. Koya is in fact a gatekeeper. As you should know, gatekeepers of most, if not all kinds, in the m.u.g.e.n community are treated like how Spider-Man sees villains. Not super villains necessarily, just people who are bad for the community they claim to also participate in. For a space built on sharing, you don't want to be seen talking to people like Koya. Someone who goes out of his way to have different folders for assumably other East Asians and foreigners. The folders given to foreigners had not only password-protected archives, but the characters in them were fake. So even if you knew the password, it would be for nothing. So naturally, talking to this guy is enough of a concern, let alone being friends with him. That doesn't mean Gamer9's a race traitor though, does it? In all seriousness, just because he's friends with Koya doesn't mean he supports what Koya does. Friends can have differences. I mean, look at these screenshots Gamer9 provided. Also, if you want to keep your OC private, keep it to yourself and don't put on OneDrive. Just wanted to help you. For some reason, Koya either typed in or translated a message into Estonian. So, weird. Let's read this. I'm glad you understand. I'd like to ask a few questions. Did you create a separate folder for a trusted person and upload it? Do you download from that folder? Also, that shouldn't upload to OneDrive. Is it dangerous if it's under another account, for example? Did I create a separate folder for the trusted person and upload it? Yes. You created a separate, your folder, I love reading broken English from English speakers, bro. I love reading middle school level English from a person in their 20s. Yes, you create a separate folder for only people of your country that you trust. Do you download from this folder? Yes, I download this folder since 2023. Also, that I shouldn't upload to OneDrive. Is it dangerous if it's under another account, for example? Yes, don't upload your OC to OneDrive, because there are leakers in this community that will get, what happened to Kamome. If you want them private, then keep it offline and don't post on anything. Finally, is it possible to send me the Luna files you have? Of course I can send you Luna, since you made her. Then send it to me. I'll send it to you later, because I'm in college right now. Thank you. Sorry for the wait. Thank you very much. I found it was downloaded quite early. We will not be using OneDrive in the future. No problem. Late Gamer 9? You shot yourself in the foot. You do realize what you've just done, right? You are aiding and abetting gatekeeping Koya's characters. His private characters. Private as in he didn't give them to half the world for arguably racist reasons. And arguably discriminatory reasons. Unless Koya wants to openly give us a reason that somehow doesn't sound discriminatory or xenophobic, or at all justified considering the community he's in, assumably still in. Link Gamer 9 should know this is something the server hates. The server members in question on June 26, 2025 subsequently voted him out of the server because of his support of gatekeeping and participation of gatekeeping. 5 days later, on July 1st, Link Gamer 9 abused his mod powers and banned m.u.g.e.n, the head of the Skyvesta server at the time, from AK1 indefinitely, consequently bypassing the free warning points rule. The reason? File leaking, which he has no proof of m.u.g.e.n doing. m.u.g.e.n didn't have access to Koya's private characters, and as told to me by her, anything she gets from people isn't released by her unless it's already public. So we have a reason with no evidence, a dodging of checks and balances, and he didn't even get away with it, because a few hours later, after m.u.g.e.n brought it up in the AK1's server, the ban was lifted. Did the team demote Link Gamer 9? Did the team demote Link Gamer 9 or punish him at all after being notified of this blatant abuse of power? No! Of course not! Because you can't trust them more than you can fool them. They're borderline useless. And to prove to you how useless they are, I am going to spend the next however long I want slapping half the administration so silly that they're going to experience NDEs. There was something that piqued my interest while investigating. I wondered, this 18+ section, does it happen to have lolicon in it? I mean, there's no way, right? I could have sworn that was still in rule. That's still a thing, right? Well, I decided to ask most of the mod team the question of, is lolicon m.u.g.e.n content still banned? I asked SDK123, I asked Link Gamer 9, I asked Karu9, and they all said, yes, it's still banned. Absolutely. Right. So, it would be a real shame if I happened to come across multiple instances of lolicon in the 18+ section. That'd be a real shame. But there isn't any, right? There's no lolicon on the site, right? You moderate the 18 plus section, right? Wow. If I didn't know any better, I'd think these guys haven't set foot in the 18 plus sections. Which is reasonable, coming from someone who had to censor all those images. Do you have any idea what hell I had to go through? Seeing the things I had to see. Reading the things I had to read. You know, those little pictures in the files. Like, usually there's the island mansion, right, and then the big portrait. You know, that's how it usually goes. Some of these pictures that came with the files that you saw, those things, some of those things that I censored, straight up lolicon art. Just straight up Sholagon lolicon art on the site for most. I don't care if it's a big portrait or not. You have straight up lolicon on your site. There's no way in hell any of these mods have touched this section. Again, I understand. I would do the same thing. I wouldn't touch that section with a 10-mile long pole. But for God's sake, someone has to do it. Now that I think about it, you actually did assign someone to that section, unless I'm mistaken. But we'll get to her soon. Who we'll get to right now is Doom Joshua Boy, another person I asked this lolicon question to. He didn't respond. In fact, he's the reason I got caught. And of course, when I say I got caught, I mean I got caught asking this question to the other moderators. You know who we're dealing with. You wanna know why he didn't answer? Hi, just making sure. Is lolicon m.u.g.e.n content is banned from AK1 web? He didn't answer because he didn't know. The global moderator doesn't know. Isn't that incredible? Now, I'll be honest. He just got here. He became global moderator in November. I'll cut him some slack. But I'll especially cut him some slack for the funniest factoid we'll get to real soon. I got someone ask me that question earlier today. All good. Same here. That's the guy. Why in the world is he asking that question to the three of us? It's obvious that kind of content is not allowed. Maybe it's better to add a rule about asking the same question over and over to our staffs. Are those your priorities? That's real interesting. Maybe it's better to make a rule about asking the same question to different staff. You wanna know a rule that would be better to add? A rule saying don't post lolicon. They don't have a rule saying you can't post lolicon. I checked. It's not there. This obvious rule that doesn't exist. It's not there. Here's the page. There's the page. It's obvious that kind of content is not allowed. It's so obvious. This is in fine print right there. I ought to strangle. I'm making a conclusion statement early. Your first order of business, SDK123, is you're gonna keep watching this video, but you're gonna get someone else to actually put up that rule saying don't post Lolicon on the site, and you're gonna shut your fucking mouth about rules you didn't know were there in the first place. You lobotomite. What if it was so much worse? Just what if? Well, let me tell you about Pal Pink, the administrator. Oh, well, actually, we'll get to that. Let me tell you a story. During this investigation, Pal Pink actually, I thought they got kicked out. Why? Oh, well, you see, there's a situation where someone was in the AK1 chat box venting. Pal Pink thought it was suicide baiting. Well, whatever. I guess that's just something you don't do in a m.u.g.e.n form chat box. You don't really vent, you don't suicide bait, let alone. So, Pal Pink banned them because they already had 2 warning points. And so, 3 warning points, they're banned. Apparently, the other moderators, the other staff didn't think that was good. I don't know what the deal is. Oh, it wasn't suicide baiting, it was venting. Oh, well, maybe it shouldn't be banned. I don't know. I thought they got completely kicked out of the staff because they posted something on Twitter. Now, let me read this literary masterpiece to you. Oh yeah, I have decided to retire from the m.u.g.e.n editing. I got kicked as a mod on the AK1, and now I don't have anywhere to post my shit. You can still post on m.u.g.e.n archive. Hell, you could start up your own Google website and put your shit there for the price of $0.00. Your account isn't gone. It's right here. Yeah, she's a global mod. She got demoted. Almost nothing happened. You know, Pal Pink, scientists should study you for being one of the few humans on Earth to survive 22 years without a spine. God, you're ridiculous. What does this have to do with the Lolicon question, though? Well, Pal Pink being an invertebrate is the least of her problems. I asked her the Lolicon question too, when she was still an admin. You wanna know what she said? Oh, isn't that interesting? Now, of course, that doesn't really mean anything. Just because she said, no, Lolicon isn't banned and you can see for yourself, that doesn't mean anything. She hates Lolicon. She hates Lolicon and m.u.g.e.n. She has a disdain for it, very, very publicly, very clearly. So, what's the problem? That she said, no, it's not banned? You see, I didn't show you all the Lolicon that was on the site. Pal Pink, if you're watching this video, I want to ask you something. How do you like your reputation? Raw or cooked? Yeah, that looks like a ban. What do you guys think? Does that look like a ban? That's 1 warning point for each post I can imagine, right? So that's more than 3 points. In fact, whatever you think the punishment for 78 points is, do that. Now, for the conclusion. I'm now going to be strictly addressing the mods, okay? Viewers, if you want to eavesdrop on this conversation, whatever, I guess. I'm talking to the staff now. Let me tell you something, okay? I am actually going to help you While it certainly did sound like I was going to bury this administration 6 feet under, take that chunk of the ground out of the earth, and chuck it into the Atlantic Ocean, thanks to the pleading of victims of your shit management, you guys actually won't be resigning effective immediately. I am going to give you some orders of business so that you guys can have a better reputation than you have now. First order of business, other than the one I gave SDK1 to free, you are going to remove the lolicon. Obviously. But, obviously it's not going to be censored. You're gonna have to remove it yourself. You're gonna have to go down there into the trenches and suffer for your incompetence. You're gonna have to go through every post I've shown in this video. And you're going to see what I had to see. And read what I had to read. Does that sound like a good deal to you? It sounds like a good deal to me. Or you could get Noxie to do it. You know, that person you kicked out of the staff for not being able to communicate with her like a normal human being. Her. You could get her to do it. Out of all of us, let's be honest here, she could be able to do that. She's waiting for you on Discord. You'll discuss the terms with her on Discord. Second order of business, related to the lolicon, you are going to ban the people. Presumably, because as you have now seen, there's a lot of horrendous shit on your website posted by hopefully not as horrendous people. I find it pretty important to stick to rules that you should now have. So, at least for posts published in the past year, you are going to give warning points, maybe even bans, to multiple people. You are especially going to ban Alien Bomb. He's responsible for this sentence. I want his IP blocked from the website. Third order of business. You are going to communicate with each other much better. You have to. You have horrible communication skills amongst yourselves. Even though you seemingly log all your decisions in the staff server, clearly it's not enough to just do. You have to talk things out more thoroughly. You have to understand what these people are saying. You're gonna question critically. You're gonna punish accordingly. And you are going to treat your fellow staff members like real people who are also staff. Have in-depth conversations if you have to. Because from what I've seen, you guys happen to have quite a bit of impulsive decision making. Just a little bit. Maybe you need to control your decisions. Have a few second thoughts about what you're doing. Because what you've currently been doing has not been working out, to say the least. And my fourth and final order of business, you are going to make a joint statement apologizing to your user base for being such awful staff. Preferably this year. I know y'all need to go back to English class, so maybe it'll take less than 2 weeks anyway. But you need to make a joint statement apologizing to your user base. You should also probably send an apology or an apology to AK1, who I'm going to make sure sees this video. You are not going to get away with any of this at all. Even if I wasn't showing you mercy, I would still send it to AK1, because this needs to be seen by him. I know he responds to you guys, at least a little. So I know he's going to want to see this, to see what you've actually been doing. Do those things, and hopefully you will have a better year next year. If you actually take some criticism and look inward, maybe you will be respected by your own users again. I hope you get better. Some of your users hope you get better. This has been Catsup Sauce. I'll see you later.